Hello and welcome to Every Day is Earth Day, the podcast. I'm your hostess, Fiona Dempster, and today I'm playing with spontaneity. Yeah, I'm curious, how spontaneous are you willing to be? How much flexibility do you give yourself, or do you have to plan everything to the nth degree, to the last minute, to the last second? And you just gotta have it that way. And you're really uncomfortable with people who have that capacity to simply say, oh, this isn't working today. Oh, half of my clientele canceled, so I'm going to cancel the rest of the day clients and go to the beach or go on a trip. Like how much more relaxing could your world be if you added an element of spontaneity? How much can you receive from other people who are spontaneous? How many invitations have you actually declined from people who have called you up and said, hey, let's go to the beach, let's go to the mall, let's go to the movie, what you want to do? And you really don't have anything planned for the day, or, you're working on something that, quote unquote, have to do, and it's actually not really lighting you up, and it's taking longer than you'd imagined it would, and you're kind of dragging your feet, and it sounds really good, whatever they're offering you, but you're not willing to choose it. You just can't do that. You just can't drop everything you're doing and go. Well, what if you actually could? What if whatever you're working on that's actually not going so well and is getting a little heavy, what if by saying yes and going and doing something else for a moment, and it doesn't have to be the whole day, it could just be an hour, it could just be 2 hours, and then you come back, and as a result of choosing that spontaneous moment, you're refreshed and you have new vim and new vigor and new energy to get that task done that you were already dragging your heels on. Give it a try. Give it a try. And give yourself permission. Put all those barriers down, no judgment, and say, okay, yes, I can do this for an hour. And anywhere you still get really uncomfortable after saying yes and you're out with your friend and you're buying the guilt, or, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done this. Oh, I'm so bad, horrible, terrible, mean, and awful. Put all those barriers down and be present with it. Be present where you are. And I'm not saying, dismiss what's coming up. If you're present with it and you're willing to look at it and go, wow, I really am hard on myself. And whose guilt is it anyway? Is it even yours? Because I imagine that you're probably pretty sensitive and pretty psychic, and you pick up other people's points of view. And because they feel so real, you've bought them as yours. Well, they might not be yours in the first place, my sweet friend. So just check in and see. Because I've found the more present I can be with all of these energies and all of these feelings and all the sensations, and ask a question about it and get really clear whether it's mine or someone else's, oh, that gives me so much more freedom. And it gives me so much more space to be spontaneous when those moments show up. What have you been asking for as well? Is this how it's actually showing up? That's not the way you expected it to. Acknowledge that too. And how much more spontaneous and spontaneity can you add to your life? Mama Earth is pretty darn spontaneous. And it's really delightful, I mean, you can't predict what the sunrise or the sunset is going to look like. It's always creating in that moment. How much more would you like to create in the moment and have things show up in a most magical way? So that's my invitation today here on Every Day is Earth Day. Thanks for joining me. Hope you join me on another day.